Hi, I'm Michelle and welcome to my channel, Blue Emerald Phoenix. I just want to talk to you, and I've been trying really hard to get this video out, but many things have gotten in the way. I just want to talk to you about what's happening now since that new moon, the Aquarius new moon on February 4th. And I want to do that to go over some of the major astrological aspects. Just let me get this out of the way. As well as to talk you through the energies that are around, and I'm going to be using the tarot, got my cards out, so that you can navigate what's going on, because it's a bit misleading at the moment. Although it feels like it's should be free, many of us are not feeling like it's free. So I wanted to take us just back a few steps, because we've had an horrific time. Well, I'm speaking for me and a lot of people I know. Let's just say challenging time. Finishing off with all those eclipses, cutting through that business. We're ending a cycle. We had an enormous number of planets, not just in retrograde, but also in uncomplementary retrogrades, as well as uncomplementary placements. So when a planet is in an uncomplementary house, what you're getting then is tension. So all of the goodness that you could be getting and all the goodwills that you could be getting from that placement, it's getting all confused with these tensions. So the eclipse finished off, wham bam, with a huge lunar supermoon, which was also a partial eclipse. And so that was our last, if you like, look at how have we done, what have we cleaned out, what's still hanging around, what do we need to get rid of. So that was really having a look at that. And then to set us up to go forward, it was also saying, are you really sure? Are you really sure that this is what you want to do? Now, the reason that we were getting rid of things that didn't serve us anymore, getting rid of old belief patterns that we had engaged with but perhaps now weren't serving us, or even forcing us to have a look at some things that we thought were unimportant or we thought were working for us, but in reality they weren't. And the reason it made that was because we are now in a go for it stage. In this month of Aquarius, we have all of the planets going forward, or they will go forward. And not only will they go forward, but for the most part, in fact, all of them will spend time in compatible houses. So there's going to be this tremendous synchronicity. Now, what is wonderful about this synchronicity is we're going to experience synchronicity. We're going to see opportunities come. We're going to see things that we thought we'd missed out on will reappear. That's still part of those eclipses. We asked you, you said you really wanted it. Okay, we'll bring it back. But maybe not in exactly the same way. There'll be variations around that, but we'll bring it back. And the other aspect of that, of going forward and everything being in sync, is it's asking you to go with the flow. So most of us have been taught, and rightly so, that hard work, 99% perspiration, 1% inspiration, is the success criteria and to move forward. And that's true. But for a very short time, and only really we're talking 2-3 weeks, we're being asked to take the foot not off the accelerator, but off the brake. And so to let ourselves go for this ride and to go with the flow. Now, just a word about going with the flow. It doesn't mean freewheeling. It doesn't mean you're sitting on a lilo being carried by the current. What it means is, and this goes back to what we've had before with all those eclipses, with those big retrogrades, where we kept being asked to look at stuff again and make decisions and clean out the closet physically, emotionally, and mentally before we move forward. That was all of the hard work. Now, if we've done all of that hard work, then what's going to happen is those things that we've made space for will come. Those things that we're working on manifesting will come. And those things that we've put energy into, and not just on the energetic plane, but on the physical plane, will come. So what it's asking you to do is still go ahead and work, still go ahead and follow up. But if you hit anything that stalls or stops, heed that. Acknowledge that it's stalled or stopped. And go on to something else. Move around it, go and do something else. There will be another opportunity. But please don't push through, force it through, and make it work. Not now. Not now. And this is what's coming up. The other thing that's coming up has been very unpleasant. You'll notice my coughing and my voice. Is that these retrogrades, and also not only the retrograde, straight after, the week before and the week after the retrograde, we had some really tight oppositions of some large planets in direct opposition with their counterparts, if you like. So, for instance, Mars and Saturn. Right? Mars is, let's go, get going, fire, pan. Saturn is, have you planned for this? Have you thought about that? Did you go and double check that? So they were in direct opposition. So a lot of people were feeling really conflicted, and I was right there with you. I was in, and then all these opportunities came up, and what if, and I'm madly creating scenarios, and it's all, don't get caught in that trap. And the other thing that happened to make us stop is that for some of us, we got hit in our weak spots. So for me, my respiratory system is not strong at the moment. Doing a lot of work on that. And I got sick. What with the flu, congestion. I know other people got sick with back pain, other people got sick with headaches. So there's a lot of physical manifestations of you're still pushing too hard in the wrong direction. Sort of nudging. And so then what's happened, so for instance, this, getting all this channeled together. Every time I took a step towards getting this, I got rewarded. Every time I took a step back from it, I hit a barrier. So they were definitely, when I say they, I'm talking about my guides, my spirits, they were definitely saying to me, this is the time. Use the astrological energy around you. Use what we're creating for you and go for it. So that's the time. So it's been difficult. Now, what's happening is not everybody is coping with these massive fluctuations in energy. So you're going to have some people behaving badly. You're going to have some people feeling, popping out. You're going to have some people feeling that it's all too much, feeling very confused, feeling very conflicted. And some of them will be behaving really, really badly. Don't get caught up in other people's shit, basically. Let them do what they need to do. If you have a close relationship with them or you have a strong respect and communication with them, by all means, help them out by calling out if you see their behaviour is unrealistic or is inappropriate. But there's a lot of stuff that's going down that's basically going to be really, really ugly. Okay, so I'm just pulling out some cards to see what's coming up. See if there's any messages for us in the tarot. And a whole lot came out. Am I going to take them? And the answer to that is yes. Yes, okay. All right. That makes sense. I had the wrong ones up the wrong way. Now I've got them all sort of sorted. Probably enough. Just going to check in with Spirit. Okay, so they said there's enough. Okay. Bottom of the pack. Hopefully you can see that. It's the Four of Wands. And the way the Four of Wands is being looked at here is mother and child, or child being supported by mother and mother also being emotionally supported by child. So this is a good time to comfort yourself. We're talking fours. Fours are normally steady. They're not do cards. It's kind of a little bit of reflection cards. And what this is saying is stay in the love. Stay in the care and look after yourself. This is the environment that we're moving in. And right now, and you've probably gathered that from what I said before, you're number one. So you need to self-care first before you can self-care for others. So don't get caught up in the trap of getting really protective about other people, because all that's going to do is distract you and drag you away from what you should be looking at. Okay, and you should be looking at the love. That's the energies around. Just excuse me 1 little minute. My little old dog has just said she's in distress. I'll just need to take that. Oops. Hello, darling. What's happened? Come on. Yeah, come on. There you go. You good? Yeah, good girl. It happens. Okay, sorry. So we're looking at the cards, and I'll just bring it down. It's going to be a 4, but actually I need to bring it back. All right. We start off, aptly enough, with the 10 of Swords. Now, some people really hate the 10 of Swords. I actually don't mind it, because to me it's an ending. It's saying we've almost, but in actual fact it's probably almost saying we've done it. And the symbolism in this is Mary washing Jesus' feet. And the washing of feet is symbolizing, one is respect for the work that's been done, but 2, it's symbolizing fresh start, new start. So when we first go into this, we're going to be feeling at some point a little bit tired, a little bit worn out. If there's anything around you that's making you feel tired, feel worn out, let it go. People, situations, just let it go. Don't get emotionally engaged into that. It's time to end it. And the card is saying it is being ended for you. Okay. Straight after that 10, very nicely, is we have the Star card. And in this situation, the Star card is all about, well, it's about balance because we're looking at 3. But it's also harmonious, I meant to say that, harmony. So it's also harmonious, harmony and harmonious. There we are. And we're looking at, well, we're looking at the stars. So a little bit about the Star card. It's like the 3 of, it's like the 3s, especially the 3 of Wands and the 3 of Cups. But what this one is talking about is celebration and the divine. So we're being asked to look to the future with a great deal of optimism, and that's coming after the 10. So to do that, you need to walk away from what's not working, think about a clean palette, and start thinking about what the future is going to do and where it's going to take you. Okay. Fascinatingly, what we've got after that is we've got the World card, but in actual fact, or the Wheel of Fortune, but it's upside down. Upside down or not, the Wheel of Fortune card is an absolute winner. So it says things are changing. But when it's upside down, it says things are changing rapidly. It's moving really, really quickly. So what we're moving quite quickly from is, I can't do anymore, and I'm really exhausted. But look at that card. They're down, they're in the ground, and they're in the background. And what it's saying to you at that front, the washing of the feet, it's gratitude, it's respect, it's moving on. So that's what we're going from that to a little bit of celebration and reward in balance, right? This is say if you've done the work, you'll get it back. We'll create the opportunity for you. If you keep working with us, with what the divine has put out there, and if you don't like the word divine, have a think about what I mean, the stars. But we're also talking about your guides. This is what we've put in place for you, and it's happening very quickly. Okay. Flow, flow, flow. Go with the flow. Okay. What we've got after that is really very nice. We've got the Lovers cards. This is a beautiful deck, Botticelli. I love them. So the Lovers. Now, perhaps we're talking about meeting your twin flame, perhaps we're not. But we're definitely talking about partnerships that are fated. Partnerships that have been put in place for you. And as you can see with the world, and then you see with this card here, fast-moving partnerships. So some interesting partnerships are going to come. And with the Lovers, not so much like the Six of Cups, which means things are coming back, but I got a really strong sense, and I just got a big yes. Some things that we thought were over are going to come back. Now remember, it's not necessarily in the same way. So it's going to manifest differently for you. But some things that we thought were gone are coming back. And that was probably because while you may have thought you were ready, everything else wasn't ready for you and it wasn't laid out the way it should be. So that's the Lovers. And then these all came up really rapidly, which is absolutely fantastic. So after the Lovers, we get the High Priestess. We get the Three of Cups. And then we get the King of Cups. Okay. Nice card. So let's have a look at the High Priestess after the Lovers. Okay. Beautiful. So the High Priestess, very spiritual, very knowledgeable, very aware of the concept of time and place and flow. So she knows what's going on. She knows how to key into it. And she knows to trust because not everything has been fully revealed. And that sits up nicely with the Star card because the Star card is also indicating we're talking about divine balance, karmic balance, celebration. And we don't know everything that's been put in place for us. And we don't know what work has taken place everywhere. Because we're talking about partnerships, it means that we have to connect with someone else who's also on their own path. So sometimes you need to connect at the right spot for it to work. So if you're a bit ahead of someone and someone comes a bit behind, you don't connect in the right way. You sort of connect, but you miss. If the connection is supposed to be there in a big way, then you need to align. Yep. So you can do it. All right. So that's looking at the High Priestess. What we've also got here is the Three of Cups. And before I was talking to you about how the stars and the Three of Cups, there's some similarity in that. And the Three of Cups is talking about people, celebration, and working together. Lovers. Aquarius is all about this month as well. Partnerships, working together, and coming together. But this is not necessarily, could be twin flame, could be soulmate, could be business, could be reunions, it could be anything. But we're talking about something that's quite karmic. If something is karmic, often how you recognize that, trust your gut. Just trust your gut. Trust your instincts on that. And I think, to be honest, the month of Aquarius and now, we're finished with Saturn, the planning, the This is Aquarian, this is Uranus, this is Mars, this is trust your heart and go with it. So it's really about having a lot of faith for the direction you want to go in. Okay. So that was the 3. And then after that comes the King of Cups. And the King of Cups is talking about someone who is emotionally mature and fulfilled. Yeah. And very steadfast in that fulfillment. And in many ways, this is the behavior we're asking from you. Don't get caught up in other people's dramas. Don't get caught up in other people's fancies or flights. Stay really centered. Stay with who you are. And if you don't know who you are, we're talking about if something resonates deep within you, in your soul, in how to put it in your soul. So you know at the essence of you that it's true. You just know it's true. It's not something that takes place in your head. It's something in your heart. And there's a certain vibration attached to it that when you say yes, it's not yes, it's yes. And it comes from deep within. And this is when you know it's the right thing to do. The other thing about the right thing to do is listen to what I'm saying. They're going to make it easy for you. Now, this doesn't mean, let's go back to making it easy for you. This doesn't mean A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It might. But it might also mean A, B, oops, C, D, E, F. Wow. So it might mean that it's going to flow, but not in the way you think. It's not necessarily going to be linear. So you need to be aware for that. So don't block anything. And that's where we're at. So the one last thing I want to talk to you about for these last couple of weeks, up until the end of February, say 3 weeks. Probably till about, I think, again, maybe a month. So maybe 3rd, 4th of March. Normally when we go into meditation or we go into manifesting and any of those things, the rule is you need to be very specific. You need to be very specific for what you're asking for. And that's quite true. But this is this is harvest time. This is you getting back the rewards for the work you've done. So the manifesting we're doing here is the end result. So I want you to open up completely in your meditations, when you feel yourself getting stuck, when you're having that nice little glass of champagne, well, whatever, champagne, gin tonic at the end of the day, cup of tea, I don't mind what you're doing. Meditating, yoga, or anything you want to do. Be open, and the way that you're open is stop asking for something specific and do the meditation with the mantra, show me, I am ready, I trust, show me. What would you like me to do? So ask them to guide you. Please guide me. Anything you want, ask them to guide me. To guide you. Well, you can ask them to guide me too. Ask them to guide you, and then have a think about, after you've done that work, what messages come to you. So it's a little bit of difference, but it's a great time. So just to recap, it's been a tough time. We're into harvest. Doorways are going to be opening. Opportunities are going to be coming. Go with the flow. Go with the doors that open. Go with the people who answer your emails. Go with the people who take your phone calls. If it doesn't feel right, it's not right. Stop. You're going to see some stuff come up from the past. Some of it will be partnerships and opportunities that you'll move forward. Some of it will be for cleansing out. A lot of people around you will be going through a really tough time, and they'll be acting out. It's not your business to don't engage, and I mean by engage, don't try and stop them. If they're getting into your patch, by all means set the boundaries. Just don't bite into it, don't buy into it, but set boundaries. And ask to be shown where the opportunities are and what you should go with. And that's really what it's about. So, there you go. Thank you very much for listening. Got any questions? You know where I am. You can shoot me a WhatsApp or something else. Have a really great day. I'll send this to everybody, and there you are. Share it around as much as you can. Enjoy the harvest.